Alright, folks, and with that, we're ready for Rain World by Iced. Take it away, stage is yours.
Hello, everybody. I'm iced37, and today I will be running Rain World. I believe it's going to be between Hunter or Survivor. I'm going to refresh the bid war real quick.
Oh, you got it up yourself.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like it's still Survivor to me.
looks to be that way.
So I'm going to be running Survivor. So in Rain World, you have a choice between three characters, that being Monk, Survivor, and Hunter. And with Monk being easy mode, Survivor being the normal difficulty, and then Hunter being a hard difficulty. So we're technically going to be running the normal difficulty. There's a lot of routing differences, especially between normal and the hard difficulty. Last year, I actually ran Survivor 100%, and this year we'll be running again. A lot of routing changes have taken place since then, and yeah, I'm about to get started. So when this circle fills completely, that's when the timer starts, and yeah, and go. So to start off, we're actually already doing something. Ooh, how do I explain? So if I'm holding what is effectively the S key on my keyboard, it skips the intro cutscene, at which point I can then load in a bit faster, and that makes us fall in blind movement, and then we can start going. And we're playing as Slugcat, and Slugcat here is a two-body chunk creature, which allows him to be able to roll as he wants, slide, and do other basic movements for Slugcat, that is. And the entirety of your movement and what you can do is based around just a few buttons. Being I'm really just going to be pressing jump, grab, and throw. And then different combinations of that to do certain things. Here's a little trick here. Oh, messed that up that time. Try that again. There we go. A little bit of a weird thing. We can kind of jump in the air if you time the jumps right and the distance with your backflip. And one of the main things about this game is that it's a survival platformer. Emphasis on the survival, meaning that we need to eat a certain amount of food within a certain amount of time, and then get to a shelter. And these shelters are specifically in certain areas around the map. And we need to have a certain amount of food, and then the timer, once it goes off, it will start raining. And we do not want to be outside when it's raining. So right now we're just trying to get enough food. We get to our shelter, we're saving. The saves are every time we complete and normally save in a shelter. The little dots in the bottom left are how much food we have gotten. If we have 4 food, we can save normally. We can have an extra 3 for later. What we want is at least 1 extra food, if not more, for 100%. Maybe it's a little bit more. So that we can save and then additionally starve. We're starving on purpose so that we can abuse the game system, because we need to get 10 different passages. And to get all 10 of the passages, we first have to get the first one, that being Survivor, which means that we need to increase our karma by surviving a certain amount of cycles, and then staying at the top karma that we currently have for 5 cycles. And we can, instead of just actually having to sleep all those times, that being like 10 times, and having to go out and get food and come back and not really moving much or doing much because we can't progress with the achievements, instead we can force a starve, which is holding down in a shelter while having less than 4 food or whatever the requirement is, and then quitting out immediately and then reloading it so that we get progress upwards on karma, but it does not reset it as it normally would when we're starving and we're quit out. And we're kind of creating a little bit of a time paradox, I guess you could say, where we just keep our karma, but the cycle never progresses, but we still get our passage progress. So we're going to keep doing this 4 more times. It may not be the most interesting part of 100%, but it sure does save a good amount of time. It's the second one. I'm generally not someone who just talks by themselves completely, so if there's anything that could ever be said in chat, I'm probably going to see it. Is one of the things I do have to say. But yeah, next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be going immediately to the left here in just a bit, so that we can get to one of the areas right in the beginning, that being farm arrays. We're going to be going by a scavenger toll, and we need to become best friends with these scavengers. Hello, Pine-Fuse and Gwyn. Become best friends with these scavengers, we need to give them things. Okay. One more. I might have counted wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the last one regardless. But normally to get across these tolls, we give them a pearl. A pearl is 10 reputation points. We're not going to go out of our way to get such one. Yep, there's the last thing. Instead, we're going to give them a flower and some spears, and then they're going to let us by. We're also going to start seeing the first enemies of the game. Direct enemies. Everything's basically neutral to you. You just need to know how to deal with everything. But the first enemies that you're going to realize in this game are the green and purple lizards. Every different colored lizard has its own power and functions in a completely different way. The green lizard being the largest and tankiest, naturally. And the purple being able to climb poles and is generally a bit more dangerous. Now, for any creature, they have to take a little bit to actually realize we're there and be able to charge up their attack to some degree, that being their bite. Purple can do it very quickly, so you don't want to be near them very long. Around the world, we're going to find a lot of rocks and spears, as we can use to help ourselves be able to survive in the world. Gonna put those there. And for the most part, we are just going to use those to stun and then hurt any enemies that become in our way. We're really not going to do anything, as we're going to be going fast enough that basically any creature that's in the way is not going to matter. You can also put spears in the walls, which help us can climb locations. We're going to be going up. We're going to see some squid cicadas. We're going to be using one of these later. If you grab on one of them, it helps us jump a bit higher than usual. We're also going to keep eating these berries as we can. There's a noodle fly here. We can technically eat its children if we so wanted. But I'd rather not grab one of them, because then the water will attack us. Okay, didn't do that right, but that's fine. Waiting for this green to move where it needs to go. Probably could jump. No, we're gonna wait for that. From this point on, we're gonna start thinking about which passages we want and a few other things. So we need to do the 10 passages. One of them specifically is to kill one of every normal type of lizard. So we're gonna have to kill a purple here if we can, but I'm gonna probably do this a bit after because I'm not in a good position with this flower. So now I'm just gonna be going past this toll. We're gonna give the scavengers here some things that they like. They took 1, 2. That should pay me by 3. That purple is going to be annoying in a second. Okay, that could have been bad. Every time a lizard bites you, it has a chance to instantly kill you. Otherwise, you're just grabbed and stunned. And generally, that chance is about 1/3. So we gave them a flower and then 2 spears. That allows us to go by the toll. They'll wave us through. At which point, if we give a toll additional items, regardless of what we give them, it will give us a 10 additional rep. We can go up 50 rep in a day. We start at 0 when we start a game. If we get to about 70, 80, I believe it's 80. We get an 80 rep, we get the achievement chieftain, and then they are fully on our side, essentially. They're not full neutral to us or even hostile at times. The green lizard is starting to show itself here. This is another area. Essentially, what we just went through is a karma gate. We need a certain level of karma to go through a gate, which is, for this one, it's the highest level that we just went through. And effectively, it's just a loading zone between areas. I'm just going to use it as such. Right now, we need to start priming some other objectives. So we're getting all the passages. We also need to meet 2 NPCs. Then we need to meet 6 echoes. And then we need to do something with one of those NPCs. And we need to eat something as well. And so to make some of these echoes that I'm talking about actually show up, we need to go to their area, this is the area of one of them, see this effect, and then come back there next cycle with high enough karma, which happens to be the maximum level of karma in our case. Squidskate is a little in the way. Oh, messed that up. I think I ate, yep. Just wanted to make sure. Right now, we're going to have to cross that toll a second time on the way back. So I'm going to want to pearl the full pay for it on the way. And so we're going to go out of our way to get one, so it's going to be a little easier to pay it. Once we pass the toll the second time and then save again, we should fully have Chieftain, which allows us to not have to worry about scavengers ever again during the run, which is very nice at the beginning of a run. There is a vulture coming down. Vultures are generally one of the more scarier creatures to see as when you're first playing, but they're really not that bad once you understand how they work. Okay. And we're going to be moving back here. Probably could have handled that better. Okay. So a lot of the movement that you're seeing is just based off the normal movement. If you turn quickly and then jump, you do backflip. If you, during the backflip, hold down in a direction, like down right, you can then do a roll, and then you can keep in the roll for a period of time and then jump out of it to jump out of the roll and get a pretty good distance from that roll. If you're on flat ground, you also do a slide and do effectively the same thing into a roll. If you jump out of a roll about 1 unit up, you can then immediately go into another roll. A lot of things can be chained into each other, but for a lot of areas, the terrain can be quite strange at times, so we just need to deal with what we have. We can also normally just pounce forward if we hold jump while laying down, if we so please. But now the echo has shown up. Everything in these rooms will now be asleep, at least around it. And if we meet the echo, or magical confetti man, with his confetti, as you'll realize, he'll actually increase our maximum karma, which getting that early in the run is quite nice. So we need to meet 6 of those, and we can have our karma increased 4 times, from a maximum of 5 to a maximum of 10. The first increase gets us to a maximum of 7. We're going to be crossing back over that toll that we just went over. I'm going to be eating this popcorn real quick, though. If you hit these things with spears, you can eat them in their popcorn. They also count as like a fruit or a vegetable, which means that they count for the passage monk. We're going to be going for that. You have to basically exist for a certain amount of cycles, this being 5 or 6, depending on how it's been primed. 5 or 6 cycles just eating vegetables. And then there's the same thing on the other side, which is 5 cycles just eating meat. Okay, so this toll coming back through from farm raids is very annoying to deal with. If we cross the skull head here, all the scavengers get angry at us. Sometimes they can not see that we threw the pearl, and we want to make sure that they know that we threw the pearl. And if they actually see the pearl, they picked up 1 spear. We want them to pick up 4 for us, so we can get maximum amount of reputation from us by abusing what they're doing. Okay, it seems good enough to me if he actually picks that up. Okay, we're good. I didn't actually kill a purple, so it'd be good if I did. I'm not going to worry about a green lizard kill for now, but we're not going to have a lot of good locations for a purple lizard for a while. Actually, I killed one earlier. So for lizards, that was a bit sketchy, I have to be honest. For lizards, they have a very hard head, so if we hit them directly in the head, the spear just bounces off, and it doesn't really matter much. If we hit them with a rock to the face... Actually, we need to fall on purpose here. Leave that pearl there. Could put that one in our stomach. Think about that later. But if we hit them in the face with a rock, they flip over, and then we can spear them in the back. A lot of different strats to deal with them that are fairly basic, but it's all about inventory management. We're holding a popper, or I guess is one of the many ways you could call this plant. If you throw it, it makes a firecracker sound, and everything in the room gets scared to some degree or another. Right now we're going down next to Wanderer. We got Survivor Passage in Outskirts, which means that we can't get the Wanderer Passage for sleeping once in every area. That was a little sketchy. Until we leave the area and then come back. So now we're going to sleep in Outskirts because we're not going to be coming back here ever. And then we're going to be starving and quitting in Drainage, because it's kind of cut off from the other areas, and we don't really want to care for it too much. We got Chieftain, that's very good. And so now we're going to be moving off to the left and down so that we can starve and quit in Drainage. Starving and quitting allows us effectively to get the credit for sleeping there, but if we quit out immediately, we'll be back in the last location we properly saved in, which will be that location. So effectively, we can go to a location, get the credit for going there, and then no longer be there anymore. Didn't really do that right. You can do back throws by during a slide, you throw an item behind you. Generally, that item has to be a rock or a spear, but it can be on a few other items as well. Going through the gate to Drainage. Now, this area is fairly tame. If this was Hunter, we would have to deal with a lot of centipedes, and centipedes can be quite annoying, simply because, well, 1, there's a lot of them. 2, they can kind of just grab you whenever. 3, they're not as terribly easy to avoid, depending. They only can hear, they can't directly see, but they tend to not need to be able to see. We just have those 2 lizards down there. We're going to be crossing an Axel Little in just a moment. Okay, hopefully it's not on this drop-down. It was on the drop-down and it instantly killed me. That's unfortunate. We have to do that again. That's just one of the things that can just happen. Really unfortunate that he falls down there, because if he falls down there, he's not going to come back up. And it's not like we could know that he's going to be down there unless I just peek down there for a second. But that's fine. Not the worst location something like that could happen. But yeah, one other thing to go back on is that, so we're getting passages where effectively the 10 main achievements of just gameplay elements. So eat vegetables for 5 cycles, eat meat for 5 cycles, stay at the highest karma for 5 cycles, sleep once in every region. And every time we get one, we actually get to use a passage. And a passage is effectively a teleport to any location we've previously been to in that save. And so we're going to use that twice to get where we want to go in this 100% run, so that we don't have to fully backtrack everything. We just can go back to a location that we've saved at. I'll talk about it when it is relevant. Yeah, that is a big part of what's going on. I'm going to go to the side this time, using the middle one this time. Okay, messing that up. Now we're at the shelter. If we hold down, we could starve. So if you look in the bottom left, there's this big icon, which is just 2 circles inside of each other. That's the karma we're currently at, the symbol of it. All the little dots around it are the time of the time before it will rain, the time of the cycle, effectively. Okay, it's making us watch this fully, which is a little annoying. Mostly because I completely wiped my save, so it's having to go over everything for me. Now we quit out immediately, and now we got the credit for sleeping there, but it's still cycle 3, and we're back in this other shelter that we're in. So now we're going to be going up, pass through where we went through, and then go to industrial. We're then going to sleep there. And then we're going to do the same starve quit strat for an area called garbage wastes. We don't want to have anything to do with that. A rainbow spawned. I think it has like a 15 to 25, depending on the rainbow, % chance to actually show up. So that's cool. Okay, nothing terribly crazy can happen at this point. However, I'm gonna take a little detour here that I like to do, that I just remembered, because I've been changing some routing stuff around. But I like to take a squid cicada around with me. One of these guys, except the lighter colored one, so that they can help me with vertical jumps. It makes it so I can't hold anything else in my hands except the squid cicada, unless under certain circumstances. But the vertical jumps are going to be very useful for both chimney canopy and the wall. And so we're taking this guy so we can get to the lighter colored one. Okay, didn't do that right. Which is this one up there. He's going to pass us in a second here. There we go. We want the lighter colored one because there's only one that spawns in this area. We want the lighter colored one because it has a lot more stamina. Well, if we jump with the darker colored ones about 3 times in rapid succession, it will get tired. While with the lighter colored one here, we can jump about like 7 times in rapid succession before it gets tired. This guy's trying to escape from me. We can't allow that. Okay, there we go. This guy's not going to get in front of us fast enough. There's a lot of... So this game is very room-based, if I haven't if you can already tell. Basically go through a pipe and we go through a different room. And in some cases, there's pipes that go within the same room. And creatures also can use pipes that we can't use that go within the same room. So that's why that green lizard was kind of going back and forth inside of that room as well. As normally it can't climb poles, it's just a large creature that doesn't get affected by certain things. Oh, okay, dude. Now we're just an industrial. I'm gonna get a little food here. Actually, I believe I'm at the perfect level of food. Yeah, let's just go with this. That blue lizard's in an annoying location. We just want to go up here. Ooh, messed that one up. Switchgata tends to get a little bit where it's stuck. It has priority over me when going through pipes when I'm holding it. But it doesn't really go into pipes unless its face goes into pipes. So it can be a little strange at times to mess with it. Alright. So sometimes when we sleep, we're going to get dreams. Really the only way to avoid getting dreams is sleeping as little as possible. Let's put it that way. So we're going to be going to garbage waste. We're going to leave the Squidskate in here for the next cycles, but we don't need them right now. As we're going to be starving and quitting, he'll just be in there next time. Okay, I'm actually going slightly the wrong way. Let's go this way. Ooh. This purple's a bit of a problem. We're fine. Okay, we want to try to kill a green lizard this cycle. If we can. Lot of scavengers. So to do that, we're going to go to one of these scavenger stockpile locations. Get an explosive spear, which will kill them instantly. And we're going to go the rest of the way. Okay, you got him, dude. Calm down. We're going to go the rest of the way to garbage. So if you may have noticed, the scavenger killed like this glowy eye thing that's been following us for quite a while, actually. Those are called overseers. And they're controlled by some of the NPCs. This is an awkward situation. We can only throw horizontally. We can also throw straight down if we do a certain move. Ooh. It's having some problems. But for the most part, we're just going to worry about battles horizontally. And I really don't want to stab him in the face. I'm just going to not deal with this situation. But the purple lizards in my way up ahead are going to be quite annoying. I can just see him in the bottom right corner there. I'm going to go back real quick. He got the eye again. Nice. Vulture's still hanging out. A lot of stuff. Okay. Works for me. I think they have one of the scavengers. That doesn't matter to us. We killed the green lizard. I'm messing up some movement. That's fine. Ooh, don't throw it. Don't throw it, scavengers. It's not worth it. So scavengers are very scary to be around. Simply because they can act like the player, except their AI. So they cheat. They have magical properties of being able to do whatever they want. So being friends with them as early as possible is quite a big deal. Because if they weren't friends and they see you outside of a toll, they would just spear you if you got too close. And so in those cases, it's still scary. If they see something that's a threat or an overseer that they don't like, they're just going to throw the spear. They've often killed each other, or me, of course, depending on where you are. So you really want to worry about that. You don't want to be between that or behind something that they perceive as a threat. Okay, forcing me to watch it again. A little annoying. Now we've rested in garbage. We lost Saint, but that's fine. We're getting Monk for eating vegetable. Now we quit out, we reload, and now we're back in Industrial. Very cool. So now we have the sleep for sleeping in garbage, but that never really happened at the same time. So now we're in Industrial. We're going to be going up the chimney after I eat some food here. I want to get Monk fairly early on. Don't do it. Ooh, he's doing it. It's really bad if he goes off on his own. He's always going to try to go off to the left there. I don't know where the berry is. There it is. So if we just stick ourselves in here, he can't actually go through us. That's what I wanted to do earlier after I would eat one of the fruits. But you can't always deal with that. Okay, onwards to chimney. But before the chimney, we need to think about another achievement. The achievement is called Scholar, which means we have to touch 3 of these specially colored pearls, like this blue one here, after we meet both of the NPCs, that being Pebbles and Moon. We'll learn about them later, but effectively we need to touch 3 of them after we have met them. And so there's not the greatest amount of chances after we've met them that we can actually touch them, as considering we have to go to 2 very different locations in the map. We've done most of the other stuff that we need to do. This is working out well. That white lizard went down. White lizards are like blue lizards. They can walk on the background, that being the walls. Looks like they can camouflage as they want, and they have a really long tongue. But effectively, we're keeping this pearl in our stomach. We can put things in our stomach as we want, just a single pocket that just holds something for us. And we're going to put it in a shelter that we're going to be back to a lot later on. This white lizard's a little annoying. Ooh, I'm unable to break it. Ooh, we stopped anyway. It probably could have gone up, but we're going to wait. 3, 2, 1. He's not coming. Don't know why he went up there. I don't think he saw us. But that's fine. There's some scavengers fighting him. Sometimes one of the lizards can be up here. There isn't. Now we're going to be going all the way up to Chimney. We're entering Chimney, but we need to get to the top of Chimney before we really do anything. Now, one of the main things about... So we're playing Survivor. The other category was playing as Hunter. One of the main things between them is that for Survivor, a good portion of the middle part of the run, we're using the Squid Cicada to move around a lot of the horizontal areas. With Hunter starting out in a different location than Survivor, we're actually going down these areas, and that having a Squid Cicada actually doesn't really matter as much, but you can still take it for one of the areas, and I generally do because I'm a bit more used to it. We're going to want to go up here. This blue lizard's a bit in the way. This purple's even more in the way. So the purple's going to go through. We can go through them through this pipe, so that's just completely fine. This blue lizard's probably high enough by now. Yes. Vulture doesn't know what he's doing with his life. And that's okay. For us. This transition can be scary. A lot of these screen transitions can be really scary, like this one coming up right here. The blue lizard already came through there, so we don't get to grit our teeth on that one. Looks like he's right there again. Okay. A little bit of a sketchy situation. These purples are in weird locations, but that's fine. Something else is coming through. Scavenger. Didn't do that quite right. Okay, we're fine. Okay, you can do kind of a weird little strat here, but I'm not gonna do it just because I don't want to die horribly on this fall. Just actually a bit easy to do. Okay, we're coming up on one of the other echo locations right before our save here. And so we just need to enter the room, wait for an effect. There's a white lizard there. So 3, 2, 1. Now it was a little late. It's kind of random. I probably could have just jumped by that vulture. I don't know what I was thinking. I think there's a second one, yep. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to be sleeping next to an area called Sky Islands. We're not going to go to Sky Islands till the end of the game. Look up in the top left and you can see a vulture stuck in the corner. Sometimes that vulture spawns there just because there's a 1-block location where it can spawn. If it is there, I'm with a batfly, which is unfortunate. We're going to lose Monk. So there's a lot of routing with both Monk, Saint, and Hunter, that being eating just fruit, eating just meat, or not hurting anything at all with Saint. And you can do them during the run, which is how you'd want it during the run normally, or you can just karma cache them as we did earlier by just starving and quitting out over and over again. And because it's a marathon, we're not going to worry too much about going too fast. There's not much I could have done because the squid cicada had the bat fly in its mouth at the time, and we kind of need the squid cicada regardless, so I'd have ate that loss one way or the other. I'm going to be meeting the Echo here in Chimney. So in this room and the room before, Echo put creatures to sleep if they enter it. And so because this area is open to sky, vultures can spawn, and sometimes they fall from the sky asleep, and that can knock you off poles and kill you. I've yet to actually have that happen. We didn't actually get to see one show up this time, which is unfortunate. But that is something that can happen. Gotta climb up here a decent distance. Messed that up. Because we're near an echo, everything's a bit slowed down. More than it usually is. And so a lot of timings for stuff is going to be changed. We see our magic confetti man here, and then we're teleported away back to last proper save. If we starved and then met him, we would be sent back to last proper save as well. So now we're going to be going up to the right and going to the wall so that we can go up and meet Pebbles. Oh wait, forgot one thing, very important. So this pearl we had in our stomach, going to spit it out now, because this is the shelter we're going to be back to later. We're going to be using a passage to teleport to it. All of this off screen down below, if you fall off, you die. So a little bit of the reason why Squid Cicada is nice. Not that we need it, but need a lot more for this coming area. I'm walking slow because I'm not thinking about it. There we go. When was the game released? I believe it was 2017. I feel like I might be wrong. This is not a good situation for us. Hello there. Oh, you brought backup. We want to hope that they land on the ground because they're slower than us, of course. We want to try to fake them out that we're going back left. That's why I started step for a second there. Because otherwise they're just going to camp in front of us and block our path. We're going to be fine the rest of this way because they can't go through this whole tunnel without walking. So they're just going to be slower than us. I messed up everything of those slides. Yes, March 18th. Next weekend is the anniversary. And I'm actually going to be... Rain World community is going to be doing a few things, let's say that. We haven't fully ironed on exactly what we're going to do, but I'm going to be doing and showing some of the changes that have been done for both Hunter and Survivor 100%, because that's the category I've been doing a lot with. And then both Itoberones and Hempimaz have been... They've pushed any percent down very, very far. We've added a few new categories as well. But yes, now we're on the wall. There's one drop wig, one blue lizard, a bunch of orange lizards we don't care about, and 4 white lizards. These 4 white lizards could take us all day to get by, depending. Or it could just be the easiest thing in the world. After dealing with them for a while, you can kind of slowly come to understand them, but they act a lot differently than a lot of other creatures for a few reasons, but that's all you just really need to know. They really like to camp certain rooms, and they don't even live in those rooms. There's the drop wig, it's up in the top left. You might have not have seen it. It's supposed to look like part of the ceiling, and then it falls on you, and then you die horribly. So just don't walk under it. I like to keep options just because he's usually going to be around here. We're going to want some bat flies while we still can get them. This part's always annoying because they're always just slightly far away. So with the squid cicada, we can't pick anything else up while we're holding a squid cicada. But if we run in the bat flies with our face, we'll automatically pick them up because video game. This blue lizard is annoying. And if we stand still and then try to eat, we'll eat it without letting go of the squid cicada, which is very nice. So now there's this whole section off to the left here that we can go to, but we don't need to go through there because we have the squid cicada. And we can just jump off the wall here on the right. I'm going to eat this. Because otherwise you'd need, I believe, either 1 or 2 spears. I don't remember if the 1 spear strat was found for this part, but you also need a spear for this part, which is required anyway. So our left is some yellow lizards. We'll see them later. We're going to have to kill one of them in Sky Islands later. Don't have to worry about that now. From this point on, there could be the white lizards. There are 4 of them. He could have his face buried right here, but no. There's 2 here. I'm gonna try to get this guy to come over here. That second one's not in a good location. He does not care that I'm here. He may not be able to see me. I probably should have rushed him in this case. Because as I said, they're very annoying to deal with. They already killed us. I can't do anything about that, really. That first one really wasn't the problem. The second one was, because it didn't move. And that's what I'm saying of... These white lizards are very annoying. So now we have to do that section again. Just because it completely gatekeeped us. If it was facing the other way, we would have been fine, but... I didn't want to try to go for it off of nothing. Okay, pretend that didn't happen. It's normal. That being me pulling the squid cicada through, but... This white lizard section is why a lot of people don't like going through there on either the Pebbles runs, Pilgrimage runs, and part of 100%. The other strat for going through here is to go through here with a mask, but I don't believe that it's faster, so I still use the squid skater. Squid skater has priority going through pipes, and I thought so. So it sometimes will take us through this one instead of the one we want to go through. You kind of have to just crouch into it, and then it works. It's a little weird, but that's just how it works. Alright, now we need to hope for the bat flies to be good again, but white lizard, it just depends on where they're positioned, because they're not going to move naturally. They're literally just going to sit there this whole time. They're going to ice something before game stuff? Yes. For how the stream's capturing, it's going to be a bit... The audio for my voice and the game is going to be captured slightly different. So it may seem a bit off, but I think you'll get the general idea for how we're trying to capture it. Could refresh the game. It's going to take quite a while for me to close the game, if that's what you're asking. Okay. Okay, we'll see if our man, the dropwig's in the way again. No. Where'd he go? Okay, I messed that up. Restarting the stream, pulling on. Well, whatever you need to do to make it work. Ooh. So for bat flies here, you may notice that there's these two patches of white mushrooms. It doesn't really look like mushrooms, but I believe that's what they're supposed to be. And so they can burrow in it and hide in them. We can't really do anything about it. They can teleport to any in the same room, any cluster that's in the same room. Just need one more. There we go. This little jump here is a bit harder than it really should be, but it's just how it is. I'm going to eat this one now. Blue lizard's fine. Still don't know where the dropwig is, so I'm gonna be kind of looking out for that. He can be anywhere in this room too, but it's not very common. I think an orange lizard fell down. Yep. It's a rare sight. It does kind of look like that's what bat flies are doing, yeah. Because the first time you see it, you're like, why are they going into spikes? What are these spikes? But if you notice, if the bat flies don't spawn, the mushrooms are not going to be white. They're going to be a darker background or color. Both of these white lizards are here. 3 of them are here. Okay. This could work out in our favor. If we sit right here and they come over, they have a chance to fall off. There's 1. There's 2. They're not going to come back up. I've not seen one come back up in a long time. This little block of terrain that I'm next to blocks the tongue and or can break it if I just fall off, and then they have to fall down under the pipe and then have to rebalance themselves, and they just can't. This guy's annoying. This is the last of the 4 of them. He almost just fell off to his death as well. If we can go by him through the pipe, that would be perfect. Perfect. That's all 4 white lizards. Now, there's no threat unless for some magical reason the dropwig exists somewhere ahead of us, which shouldn't be possible, but who knows. Maybe I should eat these berries next time. Probably not. Normally, we have to deal with this whole section here. This entire room, white lizards can be anywhere in. And so they can just randomly be on transition. Also, to our right are 2 pole plants. They pretend to be poles. If you grab them, they eat you. That kind of stuff. Now we're going up. We're going to save at this shelter up here so we can meet another magical confetti man. An echo. And I haven't really been saying what they are, but essentially, those who came before us built this giant structure here, etc. All left the world and ascended, but some of them stayed as echoes, forcibly against their will. Because they're karmatically imbalanced. Okay, it's forcing us to watch this again. I'm not sure what it could be showing. Oh, we're losing Saint? Oh, we're gaining Saint. I don't know why it has to show me that every time. Mid speedrun lore lessons. Well, you gotta learn whatever you want. We have time for it. I'm not gonna say anything full, very conceptual. From anything to gameplay to, ooh, that's unfortunate white lizard spawn there. Gameplay to how the lore works. You play the game more conceptually than very raw. I'm not gonna consider myself to be the best mechanics wise. Maybe in some ways you can tell. But I do know how to deal with creatures better than a lot of other people do. Okay, Echo Man is here. We don't have to prime him. He's one of the 2 that don't have to be primed because it's easy to walk by him. They purposely did it like that. So he's here. So we can get up to Pebbles. So if you notice on the left as we're climbing up, you can see all these giant structures in the background. They're all superstructures. And inside them are supercomputers. And we're gonna be talking to one of those supercomputers in just a bit. I need to kill a white lizard, however. Give me a second. Let me see. Should have went up first, really. There's a spear there, though. Where are the white lizards? Supposed to be some spawning up above us. But I did not see any. I'm checking down here real quick. Just to see what's going on. I think they all fell down and took separate areas. Point blank pinned the wall, huh? Knocked him off the edge. That should count as our kill. This blue lizard's in a slightly annoying location. He doesn't know we're here. I might just throw myself off the edge just to make this go faster. And then get a white lizard kill later. But I'm sure we're fine. We're going to want that white lizard kill. Audio issue should be fixed. Good. Normally you need a spear to climb up that section, but you can just do that roll instead. We're going to need some food on the way. I had it. This jump's a little annoying, because you're not fully contacting it. You have to kind of pretend to contact it. Okay, I'm just going to go up to the right. If that's the way you can tell it's working. Squid Cicada is taunting me. I've never used this in-room pipe in my life. I'm gonna keep going. OBS and obscure checkboxes. Amazing. Alright, so one other thing to talk about is that this whole area we're in right now is above the clouds. So if it starts raining, everything gets scared and goes back to where it lives. But you don't actually die to the rain by any means if you're in these rooms, which can be great in terms of you can be here like late and then right when the rain's happening so that all the white lizards run, which is the pebbles percent strat. Or it could be bad where you're doing pebbles percent or some other one and you're up past the white lizards, but they actually live in this room that we're in right now. And so when it starts raining, they run through you and will bite you if you're directly in the way in some of the more limited sections. So it's quite annoying in that end. I could keep using the squid cicada. Wow, you are the exact location I need to pin the spear, huh? I could use the squid cicada to get up there, but it's a bit annoying, and you're just kind of in the way. So we're going to deal with that. Best buddy disowned. Now spear is my new friend. Because the rest of the way we're going to do this is completely horizontal, and we do not need the squid cicada. It would actually slow us down in terms of movement. Oh, I messed that up. Just a lot of flat ground. If we can get rocks and stuff, we can do back throws, which can be quite useful. We don't want to go directly into material by any means. A little annoying. Can do a full slide on any of these ramps as well, which is quite useful. Yes, good morning. Happy 6 a.m. I don't know what time it is for all of y'all. It's fairly early for me. So far the run's going pretty good. And we're just entering the superstructure we need to be in. That being 5 pebbles, as it says in the bottom left. We're going to pop that popcorn early because we're going to be walking back here, and then we're going to eat it. Kind of saves us some time because it needs some time to pop. Oh, messed that up. You want to roll. You can roll here, just stand out of it. And then you don't want to roll here. Gravity is a suggestion at this point. And now it's a myth, as we're in full 0G from this point on. But this point on isn't very long, as we're actually coming in the back way. If I throw things forward, it also moves me forward, just like physics intended. And now we're meeting Computer Man's here. Because we've already met him in a previous save, he's going to immediately give us the ability to talk to him. That's the only allowed thing that you could do before a run, simply because it would be annoying for everyone to be complete vanilla every time. We can't fully keep track of that. But if you have a run that's either Survivor or Hunter that has met Pebbles, at any point in the save slot, you can now talk to him. And he gives you this square that's blinking above your head. If you're standing still, you can kind of see it. Now, honestly, I cannot fully remember literally anything he's talking about because I usually walk away and go to the bathroom or something at this point. Because this will take a little while. It's a bit faster because of that skip. Usually he tries to show us a bunch of pictures because he's very deep in thought of what he's doing. His computers were created by the creatures who originally lived here, the ancients. We passed by a bunch of murals depicting them to some degree. And they were to help creatures ascend as well after they all left. And the great problem of them is that they cannot ascend. And so he's really mad about that and doesn't really care about anyone except himself to some degree. But he does help us. If we enter his room 3 times in a cycle, or ever, he will kill us. If we stay too long in his room, I did that lag a really long time. That was weird. If we stay too long in his room, he'll also kill us. Which isn't a problem for Survivor, but for Hunter, there's a glitch we can do that makes it so we can straight up gain speed. If we're doing Hunter, I would have done it, even though it has a great chance of killing us. But we can't do it here. We want to eat one of these neurons, so we're entering back. This is one of the re-enters, although we didn't say anything. Now we have this other neuron here. Magic Dying Pebbles as Hunter. Well, the glitch that we need to do makes it so that we have to remain in his room if we mess it up. Effectively, for Hunter, you bring him the green neuron, you put it in your stomach while you're there. A lot of other things. Do you normally die to Pebbles on purpose? No, we do not want to die to Pebbles at any point. If we were doing Pebbles %, we would quit out on him, because once he gives us the additional karma, if we quit out, we keep it, because he works like an echo. But yeah, for Hunter, you can give him the green neuron you originally start with, then you put it in your stomach the moment he gives it back. If you then leave the room with that neuron in your stomach, the game is forced to make the neuron in your hand. So now there is a invisible copied version of the neuron in your hand, and there's one in your stomach. If you take the one out of your stomach, you then copy the neuron and yourself, making yourself move double speed, and you can do that constantly, over and over and over again. Get to like 10 times speed, if you so wanted to. But you can mess it up, and then Pebbles can just stick you in the middle of the room, and you can no longer move. It's hard to explain unless you've seen it. Okay, so this is... Ooh, I didn't take out the pebble. The pearl here. It won't matter. I have a backup for that. So I messed up a strat earlier, but it's fine. So I'm going to have to do a backup strat. But for... That was for Hunter, and Survivor won the bid wars for playing Survivor. And so for Survivor, we need to take one of Pebbles' neurons, not the green neuron that we spawned with for Hunter, that put it in our stomach. We can only do that after we are at full, so that we can bring one to the other character that's like him, called Moon, or looks to the moon. I'm now going to use a passage so that I can teleport to a shelter I've been to previously in this run. Makes it a bit faster. But we need to give her one of Pebbles' neurons when we meet her. Industrial complex, that's the wrong shelter. I don't know why it does that, but I always check. If we teleport to the wrong shelter in our run, it's invalid. Because we only can teleport to shelters we've been to that run. I think we don't want to full wipe our files, because that's a bit annoying and it doesn't actually work correctly. So we just go to a spot we've already been to. Otherwise, we could just teleport to locations over and over again. So now I have one of the extra neurons in my stomach, and we're going to bring it where it needs to go. That's really all that needs to be said at this point. I believe I have a blue lizard kill, but I don't remember. It doesn't matter right now, because he's not in a good spot. Actually, this is perfect. Okay, he's dead. That pit below us isn't actually a pit. We can actually drop down there and there's water. Green lizards eat blue lizards, so that works in our favor. White lizards are annoying, as usual. Well, we went all that way for white lizard kill, and now we got one really easily. A little annoying, but that's fine. Okay, from this point on, we're actually going to go for hunter, because we lost our chance for monk, which means we're going to go out of our way to eat meat. Probably shouldn't have thrown that spear, but that's fine. Okay. So now we are going to go and try to get to Shoreline. We're going to go to Shoreline from Shaded Citadel. Shaded Citadel's a dark area full of spiders. And yeah, that's pretty much it. For a survivor, there's literally no threat. So I'm by no means worried. If it was Hunter, there's a few things that can mess up, but there's really nothing that happens. Okay, didn't need to do that. Whatever. We're really not going to be seeing any spiders. It's going to be a few, but effectively there's going to be two types of spiders, and that's the large spider, wolf spider, that can just bite at us, but is usually quite shy, and piles of smaller spiders that can amass into a spider pea that can attack us, and they generally attack things that are glowing. And we ate one of Pebbles' neurons. So we've ate one, we also stored one in our stomach. It's not the same thing, trust me. And because we ate one, that means we ourselves now glow, and that makes Shaded Citadel that much easier. Even though we really don't need to glow to really tell what's going on anyway. You can start to tell the glow as we go through these darker and darker areas, though. Call your speed. I don't even know how to say that, I have to be honest. So I'm just gonna call it a spider Pete. There's also lantern mice. And lantern mice get to die because we need to get in a passage called Outlaw. And I didn't get it earlier because I wasn't thinking about it, and well, it's really only for getting it early if I'm going to use a mask early. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to get it when I get friend. And so that means we need to kill 7... Yeah, it is 7. 7 neutral creatures. And these lantern mice work quite well for it because there's a lot of them. Didn't pick up my spear there, but that's fine. No, not the mice. Yes, the mice. If I did the route a little bit better, I would actually be going on my way to not kill them, but I'm not going to get another chance to kill a bunch of things. Later in the run. Unless I really want to kill a bunch of lizards specifically. So it has to be done. This room has a bunch, yep. That was weird. Vibes to murder too, yes. Welcome to Shaded Citadel. Don't pick it up. Oh. Why you do this to me, scavenger? I'm not gonna take stuff from them because that'll just lose me reputation with them. We already have Chieftain. I don't intend to help them out anymore. Maybe we can get another bat fly on the way, but it's fine. So we need to prime an echo here. Before we go to the shelter, we're going to be passing the shelter in just a moment here. One thing about the cycles is that the timer is randomized to some degree. Meaning that this cycle can be a little awkward with the rain coming in. Ooh. Where'd he go? Okay, he went to the other side. And then if we're not doing it too right, it can be pretty bad. On the bat fly, nice. Okay, right here. Didn't time that right. Because I'm bad at the game. There we go. It always feels a little bit random when it's going to actually give us the flash there. I feel like I get the timing, but sometimes I don't. This jump's a little weird. Sometimes you can make it just by holding right. Yep. I want it. Nice. I think that's all the kills I need. We can check it when we sleep here. You need the prime that echoes at Hunter? No, you do not. One of the many reasons why Hunter is actually quite faster in every way, conceptually, but Survivor and Monk have the ability to teleport around, which is very, very useful. We got Outlaw. We also got the lizard kill we needed, that being the blue lizard. Just need 2 more lizard kills with orange and mole lizard, which will be getting later. You can hear the echo song from here, ever so slightly. If you could ever get out of the race. I mean, the fact that Hunter starts in a race with 3 karma allows him a lot more freedom than Survivor and Monk do with 1 karma in Outskirts. Because as central as Outskirts is, Hunter's already on a loop. Like, he's at a point where you could just go, and you could go places. While being in the center of the area, you kind of like have to go out, then you gotta come back, you gotta go out, you gotta come back, and do a lot of backtracking. Which makes it good with the teleport, but you don't have to do that as Hunter. You're basically running a straight line for 100% as Hunter. Okay, we met the Echo. Now we're moving out of here. We already killed enough mice. Their sacrifice was only completely in vain. Don't tell them that, though. The harder enemies in Matter, it depends. Because you always just want to finish runs. And when it comes to having to start off going to Sky Islands with teal lizards that just kind of can do whatever, it depends. Generally, you're pretty fine because you have firecrackers going into them, and they kind of just run away. Oh. of pearls there. That was an interesting one. We need to eat some of these, actually. Keep forgetting. That'll make that drop, except it didn't, except it did, okay. But for the most part, as Hunter, you need to be carrying spears the whole time. While as Survivor, I could be carrying nothing and I have more than what I need. That's a lot of the difference between Hunter and Survivor. Hunter, you're on edge the whole time. Well, in a lot of ways, I actually kind of don't need to pay attention to be able to do the route. To do great, obviously you need to be paying attention, but it's a bit different. You're not so worried about creatures as you are what route you're taking, how you're doing it. Hello, Rob. How's it going? I'm sorry, but Hunter did not win the bid war. We had to play Monk. Not Monk. We had to play Survivor. I would not play Monk in this setting. Monk's actually... So Monk and Survivor start in the same exact location and are technically just based off of each other, except Monk's easier to some degree. But Monk also doesn't have the special lore pearls that are specially colored, like blue and maroon, etc. And so he actually cannot get... Where am I? He actually cannot get the Scholar Passage. These leeches are sketching me out. Come on. Alright. So now we're going to grab one of our best friends, the Jetfish, and they're going to help us quite a lot with this water. There's going to be a Leviathan coming up. Sometimes he's not there, but he's there today, flapping his magical tendrils. So this guy, he doesn't deal damage. He has a kill function. If he bites you, you die. It doesn't matter what you are. You just die. And so he actually can move quite fast and turn quite quickly, so you don't really want to get close to him if he's facing you. But he was going down in a way. He was probably teleporting to a different room by going down. Okay, if we were Hunter, I would carry this Jetfish with us, but we're not, and we cannot climb with the Jetfish up here. The Survivor's a bit weaker. I messed that up. That was a little weird. No, just didn't make that. If you throw two things, it brings you forward enough that you can make it to that pipe, just as physics intended. If you've ever played this game and you've gotten to this room, it can be quite annoying figuring out how to get to this next area, but you can just do a roll and make it. How's the run going right now? Well, we had some annoying parts, but we're by no means doing bad. The wall was pretty bad because we died to the white lizard about 5 minutes in, so we lost about 5 minutes, I would say. And I've forgotten how to climb this because I haven't fell down accidentally for a while. So we're going to go up here before going where we need to go to get this gold pearl. Very important. About 5 minutes behind for getting a 2-hour run, if that makes sense. I believe the estimate for this run I set to 225. Okay, so now we're going to be meeting the other NPC of this game, the other supercomputer, that being Looks to the Moon. We're not really going to see her that much, that is. You don't really see her that much in any run. So stand here, throw the neuron the wrong direction, definitely do that. Throw the neuron towards her, you see it go up, you walk in, you see that line, you walk away, and then you don't need to do anything ever again. Because if you walk too close before you give her the neuron, she has to talk for like 5 minutes before you can actually give her the neuron. So we gave her an extra neuron. Now she can actually think again. We're going to go up here and we're going to save. Iggy there wants to give us her more neurons, but we're not going to do that. Cloning this, and there we go. I mean, in this case, are we really ignoring Moon by giving her stuff? Also, just kind of an oversight of coding. When you eat her neurons, because you could eat them the first time you meet her, you get this visual. Because we have changed her neuron count from 5 by 1, it shows that we have eaten one of her neurons. The dream of it, at least. She doesn't hate us or anything, but it still shows the wrong thing. Basically, the code was, if the neuron count changes from 5, show this picture. Instead of if it's less than, if that even makes sense. Actually, I think it was left. Shaded, garbage, chimney canopy, this one, and we're good. Okay. So, I passaged, I had something in my stomach. The thing in my stomach comes with me, that being this pearl. We've met both of the iterators now, that being Moon and Pebbles. So now we can touch pearls and get Scholar. I accidentally messed up and don't have one of the other pearls that was supposed to be in that shelter because I died and forgot to take it back out. So we have to get another one outside of the normal route. There's going to be one in here in Sky Islands I'm going to get. Not too bad of a location to go out of the way for, but I don't like to go out of the way for stuff. And then we'll be getting the third one later. But at this point, we're in the last loop, you could say. I'm going to be going through Sky Islands, then Farm Arrays, and then the game ends after I'm in Subterranean for a bit. There's going to be a purple lizard in front of us. We're fine. There he is. The scavenger's up there. Too close. This area can be extremely scary if you're not comfortable with crossing. Just because there's a lot of sheer drops. We're gonna want to take another squid cicada, just because it's gonna make the jumps coming up really easy. What's the estimate? Consider the estimate to be about 40 minutes or so. A bit more than that, really. Like 50 minutes. This is annoying. But yeah. And one thing is, this game has a lot going on. I can't say it's the best created game. I think it's the first game that these guys have created. This room is terrible. I'm going to say it. You have to do an off-screen jump just to get by it. Something to always be aware of is that. We need to kill one of these orange lizards when we get the chance. But we need to go to the left first. But Sky Islands and Drainage are not very good regions for how they're built, just because they just kill people, basically. Developed by Pine Cubes, yes. Definitely made by Pine Cubes. It's all Pine Cube's fault. Don't let them fool you. But other than that, other than the crossing, Skylands is pretty okay. This whole area up above us is a little annoying because spears cannot spawn very often. Some spawns with rocks and spears just in locations just don't work very well. I'm not exactly sure why that would happen, because this area would be fine if it had a good supply of them, but it just doesn't. Oh, hello. Pull plants. I'm kind of hoping to run into a spear here. I'm trying to eat something that is a vegetable, that being this popcorn up here, but nothing is spawning. I'll try back up to the right again, because I didn't see anything. But yeah. The one thing I am going to always say about this game is that I would recommend it to people who are interested in games that are like cute and Metroidvania-like, but this is not a Metroidvania by any means. Ooh, you might have been already be able to tell, just because we don't really get any upgrades. You have everything you need the moment you start the game. Just don't know it yet. And really all you need to know is how to pounce, which is just holding A while laying down. Holding jump, that is. Just want to kill these guys so they get out of the way. Okay. A little annoying. I didn't want to cause everyone ear issues, but I need these guys to leave the room. A little annoying as well. I don't want to lose my only spear. Okay. If you stab a vulture twice, it always runs. Vultures are losers. Never forget. But now we can get the popcorn. And I don't have to waste getting monk some timeouts. The only craving is getting moved better than baby. Well, eventually you get to glow in the dark, as we are, which is always nice. And then your slow upgrades to karma are quite useful. But it's more about resource management and taking things at your own pace. Like, if you don't want to be in Skylands, then just leave. You don't have to go through an area. There's a lot of ways to go places. I still recommend people go to every area they can and try to beat everything, but whatever they want to do. It's a survival platformer. You have to think about it in a survival sense. We lost a lot of monk earlier, didn't we? Because I ate that fly. What can we do to fix that? I don't think there is a good way. I should have just ate the egg bug when I had the chance, I guess. Yeah, I'll worry about that later. It's gonna be something that's gonna have to be fixed in sub. I'll get Hunter in farmer raise as usual. But generally, a lot of the stuff comes together at the end of the 100% run. As the biggest problems are meeting both NPCs and sleeping once in every area. Really, the run ends when you sleep once in every area, as you basically have everything at your disposal at that point. Okay, second to last echo. Hello. He's going to start talking to us because we can now talk to him with the mark Pebbles gave us. But we don't want to hear any of that. Get out of my face. So you just wait for the first text box, and then we leave the screen that it's on. Actually, there we are. Killed an egg bug, dropped its eggs everywhere. We're going to eat everything he has. Very nice that he spawns there. Very nice atmosphere. I would agree. I liked it, certainly, for just how it makes areas feel and how it makes you feel. It's not a game you try to beat for the sake of beating. It's a game you try to exist in. If you're trying to get to an end or an objective, you're probably not going to have as much fun. This jump can be annoying. Certainly never been a slug cat before, yes. Exactly. Game really makes you feel like slug cat. Okay, so we have to take a detour by going up here. This isn't something that I would normally do, but I forgot I didn't do a strat correctly. So I have to get a backup pearl up here so we can get Scholar. Please go away, scavengers. So it's not this pearl to the right, it's the pearl up to the left here. This is not a song I hear very often. Ooh. It was against the wall. So as long as we touch it, we're good. These guys just being around me is a lot. Okay, that jump's always scary. Not a lot to hold on to if you go slightly off. Hello there. Goodbye. That guy's a little stuck up there. I don't know what he's doing. He's just hanging out. They generally don't react if they don't see anything. And so if they place their face facing a certain direction while surveying an area, they often will sometimes not move for quite a while until a timer ticks for them to move. Because they have every creature has a certain amount of random movement every once in a while. White lizards seem to not move very often, however. Tend to prefer certain rooms as well. We're going to the farm arrays now. Amazing. So normally, I would go straight to subterranean, or next to subterranean. We're not going to subterranean yet. Because we had to get the pearl, wasted some time, and honestly, I'm still going to try for it anyway, because we're not here for safety strats. We're here to play the video game. And I'm sure it'll be fine. Additionally, we found a glitch from last year. Last year I did 100% Survivor also for Valuethon. And there's been a glitch found that helps quite a lot with getting by this next thing. So now, I'm going to make the same joke I did last time. Now we're going to see the face of true evil coming up. He should be somewhere in this room. Should have brought me a spear, but it's fine. Might not be here. Reindeers. Yes. The face of true evil is reindeer. Exactly spelled the way Pine Cube spelled it. Oh, there he is. So we need to use these guys to cross certain gaps. And they like to eat these puffball things, which are actually pesticides. I don't know why they like to eat pesticides. Best fun ever. Well, they're actually named that. Or at least, as far as anyone cares, they're actually named that. So if we throw a puff, it will force one into this room. They can either come from the left side of the room or the right. We want to let come from the right, of course. We have access to 3 of them because there's going to be one in here. Give me just a moment. We have to get the other one. So there's always one in this room, although you can't normally see it unless you're really looking for it. One did come. Hello there. How's it going? Likes to eat the puffball. I could take it out of his mouth. It's kind of whatever. It would be good if I had a spear in my hand instead of one of the puffs, but it's better we just keep going here. So we need this guy to cross over to the left with us on him. Jump off and on back again to make him start moving a little bit. Because we cannot cross past wormgrass. Wormgrass is really annoying. Basically, it holds onto you, wears you down slowly, and then drags you into the earth. There is no counter to them whatsoever. Personally, I don't like it really at all, but it does create this nice aesthetic of being able to ride a deer. However, deer are not great. I don't think I need to say anything else right now. Okay, there we go. There we go. So as far as I'm aware, so deers can have a certain randomized antlers, and smaller antler ones will bow to larger antler ones. It might be that, it might be just a random thing, but that's what it appears to be like. And so if they meet each other and they have relatively the same, they may just do something really weird. Otherwise, if you don't know how to deal with them, they can also be quite weird. Because the game doesn't teach you any of this. They don't teach you that they eat puffballs. If you throw a puffball, one will come into the room. That you can grab their antlers at all. That they're even, like, friendly and won't eat you. Friendly is a strange term for them and how they work. Gonna drop one of the puffs. He's gonna eat it, because of course he is. We're gonna be performing a glitch that was found by Hempamaz that allows us to get by the wormgrass without having to ride a reindeer. We still need a reindeer, but we don't need to ride it anymore. Cool. This is a good situation. So if we do this, bam. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Oh. Oh. That doesn't seem right. So effectively what's happening is, if I put the puffball in my belly, like I put the pearls in my belly earlier, right next to a deer, and the deer is next to the ground, the deer will forcibly move into the ground. And that force of movement lags the game in such a way that the player still updates, but everything else doesn't. I still have everything I need, right? I shouldn't have ate full food, but that's fine if I can get 2 bodies. Give me just a second. Actually, it's gonna rain. We'll just do it next time. So I need to karma cash for Hunter, but one step at a time. But yeah, that method is very useful. There's a few other passes in farm arrays that it's very useful in. And we kind of have to use it in cases, just because deer can be quite annoying to deal with. And it's just a flat time save and consistency than actually having to do anything with them. I'm going to lose Saint by doing this, but that's fine. Why did I stab that guy? Let's quit out real quick. I'm going to try to save that. But yeah, the Rain World, the general Rain World Discord, there's the Meta and Tech channel and the Resources channel, and that has a bunch of stuff for talking to people who do speedruns of this game, score runs of this game, which is the hardest thing you can do in this game, and then any amount of glitches, etc. that may exist. There's not a huge amount of glitches that are terribly useful, but the deer glitch is one of the biggest ones. There's a lot of other specific location glitch that are quite useful. With karma caching, that we're going to be doing right now, is the most useful. Get the dream, a little annoying. We already met Moon a really long time ago. That's pretty consistent that we get it here. Probably getting Hunter and maybe Saint. No, we're just getting Hunter. Yeah, we're gonna be here for a little bit. So anybody have any stories? It's not really. But we're gonna be here a little bit. It's gonna take a little while till we can get Saint and Hunter. Saint is by not killing anything, and then Hunter is by eating things. So we're gonna be making slow progress on both. We need 5 cycles for both. I'm just gonna be quitting out over and over again, and then starving. For karma caching in progress in both. But yeah, we're gonna meet the last echo, and then we're going to go to the end. But first, we need to make a friend, and friends are lizards. We need to feed them things. That being, green lizards like to eat blue lizards and centipedes, or really anything that would make sense for them to eat. But they're one of the few lizards that eat other lizards. That being the blue lizard. And so just below us is a fairly isolated area in Subterranean where there's a green lizard, 2 blue lizards, and a bunch of centipedes. And nothing else that can really get in the way, except scavengers if they spawn there. Which we probably won't have to deal with. But for the most part, we're getting right at the end, so we get to talk about what's happening a little bit. And that being, we're hitting echoes. Echoes are raising our karma. Pebbles raised our karma. As all for the purpose of trying to ascend in an area called Subterranean, specifically the depths in Subterranean. And in the depths is this stuff called void fluid. And if we go in it, well, something will happen. And that's essentially why all the ancients disappeared and all those that created pebbles, etc. Spirits forced me to watch it. We finished one of them. We're going to have to wait one more to finish Saint. That's effective. Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot. Saint's a bit faster. Okay. One more pearl. I just saw the achievement list. I just realized I did not kill an orange lizard, but that's fine. I could passage in and out of Sky Islands to get that real quick. Hello, Melatoon. A little annoying I forgot to get the orange kill. Forgot to get it on the way down. It just wasn't what I was thinking about. Doesn't really matter so much for showing the marathon, but normally that would obviously mean the run would be over trying to go for best, but it was kind of already over with dying to the white lizard in the wall. Basically nothing can go wrong for me to get a new best if I wanted to. Alright, to when this man talks to us. We leave. That's the last echo we need to meet in the game. Now we're going to be clearing up the last achievements. There's 2 we haven't even started yet, that being, well, Monk and Friend. We're going to get Friend, and we're going to get Monk in just a bit. Wanderer is going to finish in a moment, and then I'm going to jump across to get a Pearl here, and then that would also finish Scholar next time we sleep. jump's a little sketchy. If we throw things, of course, we get more air. And the pearl's down here. Grab it, throw it, doesn't matter anymore as long as we've touched it with our hands by picking it up. We are good. This is karma flower. Don't really need that. But we can eat it, and that protects our karma. We want to eat some berries while we still can, because we want to try to get monk here by getting vegetables. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Okay, killed both the blue lizards in the area. We don't know where Mr. Green Lizard is, though. That man's stuck. There we go. If we feed him even one of those blue lizards, he'll be our friend. We need to eat one more berry here. I'm hoping that one bite of the centipede wouldn't mess up getting monk, but I really don't know. Doesn't actually give us food if we don't eat the whole thing. So one thing that's a little scary here as well is that the green lizard can be killed by the scavengers. Going in backwards so that I can get out quickly. He has a different blue lizard. He's a bit stuck though. I don't know why. His body might be stuck in the ceiling above him. I really don't want to go remotely close to that. I don't know, Scream Black, what happened? That's not on my end, seemingly. I don't know if you guys can still hear me on the stream either. Let's see if he turns around. This guy's a little stuck, and I don't know what's happening. He's trying to go through the ceiling or something. Well, it's good that you can hear me. I'm gonna... Oh, you got it back? Okay. That's good. So yeah, I don't know. I need to tame this green lizard by giving him food. He is, however, very stuck, and I don't know what's happening. So we're gonna hit him with a rock. He's now good to move. I don't know where he's going though, because he lives way over here to the left. There we go. Now you actually move correctly for once. This scavenger died to the worm grass up above us. It's weird how they just kind of throw bodies through the ground. Hard to explain it otherwise. Oh, he's pushing all the bodies. It's a little annoying. Walk this way, it should pop up through. There we go. Whoa, now I gave you Blizzard. There we go. Well, wasn't anything on my end, so I can't really say anything. That scavenger body's a bit messed up. Oh no, please grab it. Hello? You good? Let me buy you or something. What's happening? Why? Lizard? Okay, we're gonna go over here now. Can you follow me? Not really. Oh. I should have brought the barrier with me. That's fine. Ooh. Okay, so the thing about friends is sometimes you don't fully tame them. Like, they follow you, but they're not fully tamed. So if they're opening their mouth in the shelter like that, it means they're trying to kill you. And they might, like, snap at you. Every time they snap at you, they have the chance to kill you as they would if they normally bit you. That being with the green lizards, it's a 50% chance that they kill you on a bite. It's fine now because we slept with them once. It should be fine this way forward. But sometimes when you're with them normally, and sometimes if you're with them for a while, like multiple cycles, you need to feed them more so they don't try to kill you in your sleep. If I hadn't gotten a green kill at this point, I would also kill this green after getting friend with him. Basically, we need to survive 3 cycles with him. We're just going to karma cash those 3 cycles, of course, by just starving and quitting out. Last one. Greens are generally the best to tame because they're easy to tame and they're hard. It's hard for them to die. The problem with them is they can't get to a lot of shelters. So having a shelter that they can actually get to is good. So I usually lizards like blues, white lizards, and teal lizards, mostly if you're playing hunter, because they're only for hunter, are good because they can follow you into any shelter, while others may have issues. Alright, we're heading to the last sleep of the game. I forgot to get in... Actually, I'm starving, aren't I? Just quit out. I wasn't thinking about it. It kind of seemed like I was starving, though. Alright. We're heading to the last sleep of the game. We need to kill a mole lizard, and then we're done. Except I forgot to kill an orange lizard. And for the sake of completing it, and the fact that this isn't a bad run, regardless, might as well just go out of my way to go get it. Which will take me a passage there and back. And I have 8 passages, 8 teleports as I want. So, it's not really a problem. Green Lizard also really wants to get those centipedes. Ooh, I thought that would roll. Can you get off of that? Can you get off of that? No? Okay. I think he's stuck. He needs assistance. Green lizards are not supposed to be this acrobatic. Okay, figured it out. He's not going to be able to follow us regardless after this jump, really. Because this is going to be a different green lizard. That's a very dangerous centipede. That was a little sketchy. If one of its ends touches us, it will grab onto us. If both of its end touches us, we die instantly to an electric shock. This is a monster kelp. Very dangerous. Scavengers are annoying. We're going to be going down into filtration now, which is the last sub-area of the game outside of depths. We can go through this geometry because for some reason there's a hole there. Only location it's really like that, other than a few areas of stuff should probably be there. Okay, interesting glitch time actually, he might be gone. Oh, yep, there we go. So if I'm holding this spider, and I go through one wide pipes, I move very fast. Like, a lot faster than you would normally. I'm not sure why it's like that, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to compensate for... Like, it's supposed to make it so you can actually carry bodies, but for, like, spiders and scavengers, it actually speeds you up more. If I'm laying down and moving, they can't hear me move. These are mole lizards, they can't see, they can only hear movement. So if I'm making any sort of action like sliding or just walking upright, they can hear me. If I'm doing this, I'm actually making no sound. And they, of course, if their whiskers touch me, they know I'm there. Just want to get a spear right now. And I'm going to try to get a berry as well. So we need to kill one of these. They're probably going to all pile up, which is what makes them so dangerous. Especially in one wide areas. Scavengers. Okay, killed that guy. I'm gonna sleep for now. Then I'm gonna cash into Monk. And then we're gonna go Sky Islands for an orange kill. And then we're gonna come back here and then we're gonna finish the game. Second part of the dream we got earlier. Basically trying to lead us to go downward. It's gonna take a little bit. Gonna check what my progress is real quick, because I'm not exactly sure where I'm at. Okay. We're at 3 of 5. 4 of 5. And 5 of 5. Alright, now I'm going to be getting a little bit more food. And then I'm going to be passing Skies. Just so we can get true 100%. Because I know we have a little bit of time. And the ending sequence will take about 10 minutes or so afterwards. All right. I remember when I was here without the natural glow of having eaten a neuron. It takes a while to get used to, but you can most certainly get used to an area like this without being able to fully see. Best thing is that you can pull up the map with the map button, and it just kind of fills out. And that shows you a lot more than what being able to actually see would show you if you didn't naturally glow. That is, helps a lot with shaded as well if you're doing that. Okay, Wanderer Passage for going to every area. Sky Islands, that one, and go. Gonna have to try to get a spear somewhere. Okay, he's dead. Perfect. Oh, that's a mistake. That might lose his chieftain. Yeah, I'll do it again. Yeah, we don't want to stab the scavengers. We're gonna do that again. Yellows are the cutest. You're just saying that because they have nothing else going for them. I was hoping that would have cleared over him, but I just wanted the little extra distance for doing that. It's weird that that stuns you. Red lizards are the cutest litters. Yeah, lizards. Yes, Mellow. Definitely them. Oh, okay. Slightly too far. Probably shouldn't have tried to crouch throw it, but that's fine. You mind? Oh. Ooh, can't grab the spear, apparently. Usually you can. I'm just trying it too much, though. You didn't get a rock there, which was unfortunate. Now I have a rock, but probably not a spear. But for slides, with the basic slide, you could throw during it. and that will, if you're right next to them, won't hit them in the face, and will instead hit their body. So it's very good if you don't have any direct options and only have a spear. Okay, let's not throw the spear this time. Although I do really not like this situation. Alright. Scavengers did really well there, regardless. Okay, I need to get food here. I don't know where this blue lizard is. Okay. 2 of them. Okay. Scavenger is too powerful and does a backflip in front of us. Okay. Pond slug simulator again. Well, it's certainly something I'd say is worth it. It's a game where you have to teach yourself, is what I am going to say. Because a lot of the stuff that I'm doing throughout the run is not stuff that the game's going to tell you by any means. Pole plants. That's both of them. Like, a lot of people don't realize how passages even work. They just kind of go back to the same shelter that they're at. They gain the karma, because every time you use one, you go to the max karma that you're at. But it's a game you teach yourself. And a lot of people... There's Dragon Slayer. That's all the achievements and passages and the side quests that we've decided. And now we're going to the end. We're going to finish the game. But the game, I feel like there's a lot of things that doesn't tell you that you wouldn't learn unless you ask other people. Hello, Sapphire. What's going on here? I am doing a marathon for Valuethon. Is this the right one? Oh, this looks weird. Just tell me when to press time. Another 10 minutes. Or so. I had to go out of my way to get one thing, but we're on the ending sequence. There's no chance of any sort of failure. But we're getting there. Oh, I'm getting stuck now, too. So it's going to take a little while till we get there, but this game actually has 2 timing locations, as we put it. Spawn the Guardians for fun. I think it would be best if I just finish the game, but it wouldn't take too long. So I guess we'll do that. We'll just do a fast little one of the slow despawn. So for any percent, there's a few ways to get by the end of the game without actually getting the karma. I mean, normally I'd do it anyway, Kirby. Because the run doesn't really matter. But at the end of the game, you come down here. You normally need the max karma of 10, that being the karma X that we have right now, and that we can see in the background here. I'll pass by here, there'll be a bing. And we keep going. That would not happen if we did not have the X in the corner, or at least had the ability to have the X in the corner. You don't actually have to be up there, you just have to have the maximum. Oh, messed that up. That's fine, though. But there's guardians down here. And if you don't have the X and you haven't gone through it like that, they will not let you by. And there's no way you can kill them, but there's a few ways you can get by them. Because you only have to get by one room of them, even though there's 3 rooms of them. If you go the right way, which we go anyway. Ooh, messed that up. I'm not exactly doing the best strats right now, because it doesn't really matter as much. But it's fine. But these guardians effectively have gravity attacks, and they push you back if you don't have the correct karma. And one of the main ways to deal with them is the despawn, which consists of crossing up halfway across the room, going back. I like to go up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6.5 seconds to go back into the room again. And if I did it right, also we're going to see cloud jump. There we go. If you lean against the wall and then just press jump all facing the other way, you can jump a second time. When we did it right, the guardians won't be here, but I didn't do it right. Because I haven't done it in a really long time. I think I did it late anyway. If you do it right, they won't be here at all, because you interrupt when they're loading in. It's about a half-second window after about 6.5 seconds. There's a few ways to set it up. There's even a faster way to do it. And now, last place we can actually die is falling down the entirety of this shaft. You have to fall down the whole thing to actually die. And then now it is just movement the rest of the way. There's a lot that goes into making this movement really, really good. I'm not doing the best stuff by any means, but the basic idea is there's a few locations you can slide in, and you really want to slide at those locations if you can. Otherwise, you're picking up rocks and stuff and throwing them to gain more speed, and then trying to jump when you hit the ground to keep that speed, like a bunny hop, I suppose. This area is also slowed down, if you can't tell. So all the inputs you've been doing the entire game for slides and stuff is going to be a bit off. Oh, that's my bad. What happened? We're almost there. We're not there yet. We're heading deeper down. The feet get bugged when I touch it. Oh no. We're heading deeper and deeper down. Slowly getting drugged down, probably because there's literally no oxygen down here. Let's be honest. Maybe because something else. Maybe. Oh, I got backwards a little bit. Eventually we get down enough to see what the ancients found. That being this room. It's also going to be really bright and going to be kind of loud. I am not doing any of depths right, but it's fine. Alright, and this is the Void Sea. And so, technically, time is when we cross this threshold here, but the game, time is there, but the game doesn't end, and we require that you actually finish the game. The game doesn't end until we finish the sequence. Just we don't like to include it in rankings of speedruns because it is completely random. So the second timing and the full ending of the game is going to be a bit later. So don't worry about it. But for rankings of the speedruns on speedrun.com, we time it on that transition. From this point on, the camera is following you, which people may or may not notice. But what they may notice is as they get lower, the curtain gets peeled back a little bit more. These guys are the Void Worms, and they push us around quite a lot. Their movement's entirely random. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it, nor do I fully understand it. But just trying to get through it as fast as possible can be quite annoying. But eventually we'll get past that layer, the Void Worm layer, and get down below. It gets a lot quieter. Also hope it wasn't too loud. I believe I've set it up on my end so it's at a decent range, but it's still quite a lot. And this whole section, of course, is, well, there is no indication as anything like this. But now we got a friend. He's gonna put some string on us. And we're gonna go down. Farther and farther. And definitely not easy. If you ask nice enough, maybe it won't. Like how long Slugcat looks here. Moving faster than the fabric of reality allows. I'm questioning if it's actually moving down or what's actually happening here. But effectively, we get brought to a temporary room down here. Which, as far as we care, is the infinite black void. And now we're here. With nothing but our thoughts. Maybe just after a little bit, we start hearing something. Maybe even get accompanied by ourselves. Because of course we are. The ending always spawns in the same location. Once we hit this light, and then you see loading in the bottom left with a black screen. That's the true time. That's what I'm calling it. The horde, yes. Some of them are faster, some of them are slower. All of them copy your movements. Ending's like slightly 30 degrees downwards from the horizontal. Control, it's a bit easier to move if you are swimming, especially, because if you do this kind of snaking motion, as you may notice, like I'm moving slightly up and down, not going directly where I want to go, and then pressing jump at the right time, so I'm breaststroking correctly. But that snaking motion actually gains you some speed over what keyboard is able to do. Doesn't really matter, but just one thing. And then there's light, and there's time, and now the ending cutscene.
All right. Awesome. Hey,
Yes.
that was a great run.
We're
Very
pretty good.
interesting game.
There's a lot going on, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a 2:20:19 seconds in real time. I saw the game is timed in in-game time, so I have no idea what the in-game time is,
Yeah,
but yeah.
we just time real time to entering the void, just because we can't really time it otherwise right now. But yeah,
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, thank you very much for running, and that was awesome. Hope you enjoy yourself, and we're gonna go to a quick break and then come back with Aeon Frodo playing because I know Xenoblade Chronicles, so that's gonna be awesome. So yeah, see you guys in a few minutes.